I'm bored. Let's talk about Star Wars Skeleton Crew. All right, so ever since Star Wars Skeleton Crew was announced and knowing that the cast was going to be very young, there's been a concern about how the grifty, chuddy, bully space on YouTube and social media would treat them because they have a track record of being awful to anything and everything when it comes to Star Wars. So it would be no surprise if they end up being that way to everyone involved with Skeleton Crew. And a lot of fans are worried that the young cast is going to be subjected to all of the same nonsense that women have to deal with in Star Wars, that people of color have to deal with, that queer people have to deal with, that everyone involved with Star Wars, whenever they are not a specific type of person, they get treated a different way. And so a lot of people on social media are already calling this out and saying, let's not do this, especially from a community that talks about taking care and watching after, children and stuff. Let's not treat these child actors this way. Is that too much to ask? And we have this account. I had never heard of this person prior to this. Lucas Star Wars Girl. And she was responding to these 3 comments here. Protect these kids. These kids are amazing and perfect. We need to protect them. I can't wait for Skeleton Crew. It's going to be perfect. Lucasfilm, people, please protect these children when the show comes out. Which is a rallying cry for so many people when it comes to trans individuals. Then there's no argument. You say to protect kids, there's no argument against that. But when it comes to Star Wars, apparently all of that gets thrown out the window. Then we're just going to ignore any type of, mental health responsibilities when it comes to younger people, anything along those lines, any sort of safeguards or whatever. We're just going to get rid of that. And we're going to say whatever, all this nonsense and bullshit they say about everything, they're going to say it to a lot of the kids involved with the show. And they know it's wrong, but they don't give a fuck. And so this is this person's response to that. Let's call this shit out early. The kids don't need protecting. Having children in the cast shouldn't stop valid criticism of the story writing and characters. But the crazy thing is that this person knows full well, I don't believe they're stupid or naive, they know full well that when people are talking about protecting the kids, it is not from valid criticism. It's not about any of that. It's about personal attacks and personal vendettas from a lot of these channels going after actors, writers, producers, anyone in the crew, and being extremely visceral, hateful, and negative about them. I can't tell you the last time I remember tuning into somebody on YouTube criticizing Star Wars in a way that doesn't become a personal attack from this specific space. It almost always comes down to a question of character. Have they ever been an activist before? Are they queer? Are they a woman? Are they a person of color? What have they ever done in their lives that has led them to this path where they are now? And we're going to hold all of that against them when they're in a Star Wars property. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. So when they're saying to protect the kids on this show, to watch after these kids, it is from them not having to see the most awful adults on YouTube attacking them over nonsensical stuff and scarring them for life from being part of a show that they want to be a part of. That's probably going to set them up, or could possibly set them up for a career in Hollywood where they go on to be fantastic stars and live a great life. That is what these comments are about. It's about not subjecting them to that. We're already seeing that. Let's not be stupid about this. Let's not be stupid. And some of them are so bad, I can't even show them on YouTube because, Twitter allows people to be the worst versions of themselves. This is another comment from Lucas Star Wars Girl. Space pirates from Skeleton Crew. Basically, the recycled cast of the Cantina and Jabba's Palace. And a black guy and a woman. So what is the criticism? What is the criticism here? I thought you guys liked the Cantina at Jabba's Palace. So what would be the problem with them using that on a show where you've already criticized how it looks nothing like Star Wars in your opinion? And now I guess it's a problem that it does look like Star Wars. and that it includes a black guy and a woman. Do you see how that's not criticism? You see how that's not really criticism? This is the type of community that we would call anti-fandom. You are not a fan of this content anymore. Maybe you were at one point, but you are no longer a fan. It's okay to pack it up. It's okay to walk away from something that is not giving you joy anymore. It is absolutely okay to do that. Maybe you've outgrown it. Maybe it's outgrown you. Maybe you've just decided that you don't like the direction of the universe that is existing here. However, this is not positive criticism. It's not valid criticism. What are they supposed to take away from this? In all seriousness, what does this add to the conversation where they could go, I can understand what they're saying here. I can understand. They're saying that, let me decipher this. If I were working for Disney Star Wars, space pirates from the Skeleton Crew. Yeah, space pirates. Okay, cool. You understand what they are. The recycled cast of the Cantina and Jabba's Palace. Well, yeah, I mean, we wanted to feel like it exists in Star Wars. So a lot of these aliens and bounty hunters and stuff, they're gonna look the same. We thought this is what you guys wanted. We thought you wanted this. You said you didn't want to change a bunch of stuff, so we give you what you want. Now you're saying you don't want it. Okay, interesting. Last line. And a black guy and a woman. Does that mean we're not supposed to have black people and women in Star Wars? I'm trying to... the guys, we were writing the stories here, and we never thought like, oh wow, like maybe we shouldn't have black people in Star Wars. Maybe we shouldn't have women in Star Wars. That's something new. I'm going to take it back to the team, and we're going to talk about it, and maybe we'll start just erasing, black people and women from Star Wars. And I don't know, maybe instead of using the Cantina and Jabba's Palace, maybe we'll find another old nostalgic thing that you won't get triggered by. I'm not totally sure what we're going to do with that, but we'll figure something out. This is shit posting. It's shit posting. It's not criticism. It's not valid. And this person knows full well what the people mean when they say not to go after the kids from the Skeleton Crew. This is all nonsense. And I hate the fact that even though they know it's inappropriate to talk about kids in the way they're going to talk about them, they're going to do it anyway, and we're going to have to listen to it. And most likely Disney, Star Wars, they're not going to do anything about it either, because they've literally just covered their eyes and their ears and their mouths apparently, and they decided they're not going to have anything to do with it either. They're just going to throw everybody to the wolves. So we'll see how it's going to go. This is garbage. This adds nothing of value to anyone or anybody.